thank you once again for joining us on Making Saturdays Awesome. This week, we're going to be working on STEM Invention's Slingshot race car. Sherry is going to talk to us a little bit about the supplies that we'll be using.
All right, so in order to make a Slingshot race car, what you're going to need is a pencil, which you will use later, at least 4 wheels, but we have packed you a total of 6, so that way you can do customizations to your race car if need be. You have 2 wooden dowels. You really just need 1 depending on how many wheels you use, so you do have a little bit of extra in case you accidentally make a mistake, and straws, as well as a total of 14 popsicle sticks. You will need a cool glue gun to get started, so before you
you should definitely have plugged that in already, so if you haven't plugged that in already,
plug this guy in.
It takes a while to warm up, but you'll get there.
Yep. And masking tape as well, our rubber bands, rulers, and scissors. All right.
You're also going to need some blocks, 6 of which are in your kit. These are going to be used to shore up the different joints that we're going to be making, but we will talk about the specifics of that and why.
In order to make these Slingshot race cars, let's talk a little bit about energy. Energy is what we will be using to get these things going. So there are many types of energy. There is nuclear, chemical, kinetic, potential. Today we're going to specifically focus on potential and kinetic energy. If you don't know what energy is the capacity for doing work. Potential energy is stored energy. So when I am pulling this rubber band, there is a lot of stored energy in this rubber band. If I pull it a little bit versus a lot, it will change how far this race car will go. Kinetic energy is the energy that is moving. So if I release this Slingshot race car, it will go flying. Now we're going to talk to you a little bit about engineering and specifically triangles.
So, Making Saturdays Awesome is a STEM-focused set of curriculum and projects, and so we're going to talk about the E in STEM, which is engineering. For us to make a race car, we have to have some way to propel it, which is the potential and kinetic energy, that is rubber band here at the front. We have to have some way of connecting that, and then because we are wanting it to roll, it has to have wheels, and because we want it all to hang together, that's where the interesting parts of the engineering comes in. The shapes, the regular shapes that you'll see on here, are dictated by the nature of reality, really. The triangle, squares, a rectangle, a circle, and then also these blocks here are there primarily just to provide greater surface area, especially considering the stress that we're putting on it as we go to fire.
So let's get started on our build. First, let's get our popsicle sticks. What you'll want to do is you will want to make a figure 8 down here. So I'm going to assemble my popsicle sticks in a number 8, and you will need a total of 7. With the cool glue, you just need a little bit at the end. Press it down.
There's a fair chance you're going to glue something to something else in a way that you don't intend to here. When that happens, you can twist it off instead of trying to pry it off. It'll break more easily. But hopefully it'll break the glue bond more easily, hopefully not break the part.
It's also important to note that when you are using cool glue, it is still warm, and you want to avoid touching your skin to the metal tip at the end. I'm a cool glun.
She's a cool glun expert.
Cool glue gun.
What kind of glun? Cool.
So now I've got my number 8. I am going to start assembling the blocks on. I'm going to put 1 block in each corner. You are welcome to work and use these materials for your own design. We would love for you to customize them and make them your own and experiment. You can take these apart, rebuild if you need to. If it doesn't work out perfect the first time, that's okay. Mistakes are important because we learn from them. Okay, so I've got my 2 sticks. I'm ready to glue them. I put a dab of glue here, dab of glue here. I'm just guessing the angle for right now. If I decide later that my race car isn't working how I want to, that can be something that I adjust. But I do want to make sure that they are a similar angle. So I'm kind of holding it up and eyeballing it. The next part is taking this popsicle stick and lining it up in a way so that these 2 pieces can join together. Once I know that they do that, give it a pinch. Get my last popsicle stick together. I'm using that as my guide. Now comes the wheels. So we've got this part put together now. This is the top of our car. The next thing we'll need to do is get our wheels together. Now this is where you can decide if you want to do 4, 6, or maybe somewhere in between those. For this demonstration, I'm just going to use 4. The first step that I do is I take one of these wooden dowels and I push it onto the wheel. If you're having a little trouble, just be careful not to break your dowel, but you want to give it a little push. If you're really having a hard time getting your dowel inside of your wheel, you do have sandpaper that came inside of your kit. You don't want to sand it too much because it does need to be a tight fit, but if you're really struggling, just kind of give it a swipe maybe once around or twice around and then see if that helps a little bit. One of the most important things is the straws. So the straws are important because if we were to just tape our wheels onto the bottom of the car, is it going to move? No, it's not. What we'll do is we will take a straw. I'm going to cut about the length of the car. I'm going to use my car as a reference and cut that. I might need to cut it a little shorter. We'll find out in just a moment. So I put my straw on so that way I know where to cut my next piece. So now I'm going to cut the dowel because for my vehicle, I don't want the wheels all the way out here. If you wanted to make yours like that, it's your car. It's your piece of art and it's your science project, so do it how you would like. I'm going to cut mine right about here. I'm going to put the other wheel on and give it a little push. And it should be a pretty tight fit. Now, my wheels can move freely.
Super safe.
Nice. So I will get my other one ready, and you can even use your dowel as a way, if you want to take it apart, to measure so that they're a similar length. I'm going to show you how to tape the first set of wheels on while Warren starts building the second set. So what you'll want to do is find the end of the tape. Now we all know that that is the hardest part of any task, is finding the end of the tape. When I tape, I like to use the end of the tape and then wrap it around like so. And magically, this one is complete. So we've got this part built. Now what we need to do is we need to attach our rubber band. You have an extra rubber band included just in case one breaks. So I like to take a little bit of piece of tape, or a little piece of tape I should say, wrap it around once or twice, and then tape it to the front of my vehicle. After you've done that, you're probably wondering how you launch them. So the next step is you're going to build your launcher. Your launcher is going to be a pencil. Not my hand. Your launcher is going to be a pencil. What you'll do is you will tape it down. I hope that mine goes further than yours. He does not. Vote Team
Sherry.
Sherry.
I like it. Vote Team Sherry.
All right. So what you'll also do is we would like for you to try to measure how far it goes, because chances are that this isn't going to go as far as you want the first time. You'll find little mistakes, happy mistakes.
Happy little mistakes.
You'll find some mistakes that you will want to fix, or maybe something came loose, and it is your job to figure out what the problem is and make it better. So when using a ruler, you'll notice that there are tally marks on them. The beginning point is not always the very end of the ruler. You'll notice specifically with the rulers that you have, that first mark there is your starting line. So what I will do is I will place my Slingshot race car, and I'm going to line up that number with the very back, and I can test out different inches. So if I want to see how far it goes with 2 inches versus 3 inches versus 4 inches, I don't know if I can make it to 5. I can't make it to 5. I only can do 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
It survived. It survived. All right, let's see how far yours can go.
One of the reasons that we measure things is because in science, technology, engineering, and math, this quote actually comes from one of the people that I consider a hero. His name's Adam Savage. He was on a television show called Mythbusters. I heard the quote from him, and it is, the difference between screwing around and doing science is writing down your results. Taking measurements of things is one of the primary results that you want to be able to write down. It's not enough to write down that car did a go. That's fine, and it is useful data, but it isn't as useful as the car did a go in a straight line for this distance when I pulled it back this far, because then you can pull it back a little further or a little less far, and you can see that perhaps when you pull it back really hard, it goes farther, but it curves more, or it more often breaks and you have to re-glue something. So write down your results.
Yes, very important.
And that's why we measure. So let us do this one.
Nice.
Also survived, probably. I can't see it from here, so here's one.
It did not survive.
Thanks for watching this episode of Making Saturday is Awesome. We are here throughout the week. Feel free to call with any questions, or if you'd like suggestions, if you want to just talk to us about things that went well or things that went wrong. Also, please take pictures. Take pictures of the build process. Make an instructable of you doing this. But at the very least, take some pictures, send them to us, info@factory2.org. We can put them up online. That would be a real cool thing. Maybe make a collage of them towards the end of the project, the process here. But thanks for watching, and
We'll see you next week. So what you need to know about Slingshot race cars is that we're going to be using energy to get them slinging. What you need to know about...
You know, slinging is.
Okay.
A triangle is a very stable shape, which is just...
It's a triangle.
It is a triangle.
You know what else is triangles?
Sauce.
Pizza slices.
Pizza slices are triangles. Why? Because it's easy. It's an easy way with straight lines to divide up a circle evenly. Another fundamental thing about reality is straight lines.